Of rands by SAA have come out strongly against Comair's court bid to stop government from giving further bailouts to the bankrupt national airline. This happened during the third day of the hearing of the matter at the North Gauteng High Court today.
South African Airways, once a proud flag bearer for South Africa, but now unable to survive on its own devices like most airlines have to, is still in operation thanks to 11 multi-billion rand government bailouts thus far in the form of guarantees which enable it to borrow money in order to survive. The last such bailout was a 6.5 billion rand guarantee granted by the state 3 months ago. Currently, SAA owes Nedbank 1.8 billion rand, ABSA 1.7 billion rand, Standard Bank 1.5 billion rand, and Citibank 1.5 billion rand. Now these banks have told the North Gauteng High Court that they oppose Comair's application to declare government guarantees for SAA illegal and unconstitutional because that would put their loans to SAA at risk.
For all of those reasons, my lord, but particularly in the case of Standard Bank, because of the commercial impracticality and unreality of it, it simply is not an order that is feasible or sustainable, and it's also not an order for the reasons that I mentioned before, that is cognizable in law. It simply doesn't disclose a cause of action.
But Comair disputes that its application would jeopardize the repayment of loans already given to SAA.
We're not looking for retroactive correction to this, and therefore it won't affect the banks at all. We've said we're only looking at prospective remedy, so in looking forward, and therefore that if it's found that this process of funding is not correct, then it'll simply impact on future funding of SAA, not on past funding.
Final arguments will now be heard next week, Thursday. Deciding on the case will no doubt be tough for Judge Hans Fabricius, but he already proved his courage last week when he granted permission to a terminally ill man from Cape Town to be killed by a doctor of his own choosing. Mbongeni Muchwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.